good to have you back here on Culture Mosaic. Now, apart from the vibrant culture events that stirred up the local culture scene over the past week, in this edition, we'll give you an insight into fabric painting and meet with a special artist who uses fabric to create paintings. We will also have the chance to get to know an Irish contemporary artist who has created a unique combination of photo exhibition and sound installation now underway in Hanoi. And here are some highlights you'll be following. Cut fabric painting, a unique painting style. Project Stormy Patrol introduced in Hanoi. Canadian violinist breathes a new soul into classical music in Vietnam. Now let's start off with our most outstanding culture events from the past week. Now, the International Circus Festival 2016 opened on Saturday at the Thừa Thiên Huế Sports Center. And to June the 4th, audiences in Huế will have the chance to enjoy the unique repertoire of 6 circus troupes from Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, Ukraine, Thailand, China, and 5 local troupes from Vietnam.
This is the opening circus performance of the Vietnam Circus Federation called Tumbling on Pole. This is just one of the adventurous feats of the troupe performs.
Khi có cái kế hoạch liên hoan xiếc lần này, thì ban giám đốc của Liên đoàn xiếc Việt Nam đã tạo điều kiện tốt nhất về sinh hoạt và tập luyện để cho diễn viên có một cái khoảng thời gian chuẩn bị công phu những cái tiết mục mà mình biểu diễn để mang đến những tiết mục hấp dẫn nhất cho khán giả thành phố Huế cũng như thành những khán giả mà họ yêu cái nghệ thuật xiếc.
Lao artists also brought many spectacular performances to the festival, most notably Girl with Roses.
I'm very happy to perform in Vietnam. The audience here is motivating and encouraging for us.
70 artists from different countries will showcase the essence of circus art with over 30 items spanning in many different categories, including acrobatics, juggling, balancing, circus clown, and magic.
The local and international gastronomies had a chance to enjoy hundreds of appetizing dishes and drinks at the 6th Southern Food Festival 2016. The event was held at Đầm Sen Park in Ho Chi Minh City from May the 28th to June the 1st. The annual event aims to promote Vietnam and the southern region's fine dining arts and cuisine. Participants had a chance to savor 4 styles of cuisine from the country's Central Highlands, Southern and Central regions, and from Ho Chi Minh City, and experience a floating market, retrace the work of traditional trade villages in mat and basket weaving, and make incense and rice vermicelli. The Young Woman, Moon and Flower, featuring artworks by overseas Vietnamese painter Đặng Thông Tuyến, kicked off on May the 30th in Hanoi. Painter Đặng Thông Tuyến has lived in Austria for 30 years, and this is his second painting exhibition in Vietnam. The focus of this event is the set of 4 pictures that depict the beauty of Vietnamese women in the moonlight. In addition, the exhibition also introduces the latest 32 oil paintings of young women and natural landscape drawn by painter Đặng Thông Tuyến in both Vietnam and Austria. These masterpieces combine both reality and illusion and reflect different feelings of the painter. Works by painter Đặng Thông Tuyến have been exhibited throughout Europe. The Austrian ambassador to Vietnam and his old teachers attended the opening. The exhibition will run until June the 6th. Now, the 4th International Children's Festival of Classical Music was held in the Kremlin Palace in Moscow, Russia, to celebrate International Children's Day, which falls on June the 1st. The festival, named Generations Melody, attracted the participation of many young talents who had won prizes in prestigious music competitions in Abkhazia, Armenia, Belarus, China, Serbia, Turkmenia, Russia, and Vietnam. Representative of Vietnam Nguyễn Bá Tân opened the festival with Mozart's Piano Concerto No. 20. Despite the challenging nature of this work, his performance received a rousing ovation. The festival honors young piano talents from Russia and other countries who are forging national pride and patriotism. The event also helps foster cultural international cooperation. The ASEAN Kid Music Gala 2016 wrapped up at Vietnam television on June the 1st after 5 days full of activities. The event drew the participation of children's art troops from Malaysia, Thailand, Laos, the Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia, and Vietnam. 15 performances brought about different culture color to the event, including Lao dance, Singaporean folk songs, and Vietnamese water puppet shows. All the little artists also sang together a song of peace to send a message of love, peace, and friendship. This is the first gala that has been held to help children from different countries in the region develop a mutual understanding about ASEAN culture. If you wonder what to do with fabric beside tailoring or making handmade stuff, we've got quite a treat for you. This is cut fabric painting, a unique painting style. And in this week's edition of Culture and Lifestyle, let's meet a special artist to see how she uses fabric to create a painting.
Vietnamese countryside, lotus, or daily life of people. These paintings looked at familiar topics. However, they were painted without paints. And the owner of these images is artist Trần Thanh Thục, who has the ability to live in fabric scraps.
Về cái chất liệu tranh vải cho đến bây giờ là tôi đã theo đuổi hơn 30 năm rồi.
Although Thanh Thục is very well known for cut fabric painting, the simplicity of her drawing tools is a surprise to anyone who visits her studio. Fabric adhesives, paintbrushes, and a lot of scissors. As Thuk's share, the first thing that makes this art different from other types of painting is that artists cannot draw outlines. This style of work requires artists to generate ideas in her mind, usually based on the existing patterns and colors. Knowing what fabric to choose is seen as the most important.
Thứ nhất là nó không mang nhiều chất cô tông, bởi vì chất cô tông là khi mà tác dụng với lại hồ thì nó sẽ bị làm mất màu và nó làm đục màu đi. Cho nên cái chất liệu mà tôi yêu quý nhất là nó cứ nằm ở trên những cái mảnh vải mà chúng ta thường may áo dài.
The passion for cut fabric painting of Trần Thanh Thục came out when she played with fabric scraps in her friend's tailor shop and got the idea of creating a picture from them.
Sau 3 ngày tôi rất là háo hức và thử nghiệm một cái chất liệu nó chưa bao giờ tôi nghĩ đến là tôi lại làm cả, thì đã hoàn thành một cái bức tranh về cái dãy phố của thành phố Nam Định.
Since then, she has decided to work with these special materials, using what she had learned at the Vietnam University of Fine Arts to create her own painting style. Thanh Thục is not the first artist who has produced this kind of art, but she is the only one who has applied visual art in cut fabric painting in Vietnam, which allows viewers to see layers, shapes, and brightness.
Thí dụ như tôi muốn tìm một cái màu thứ ba mà ở trong cái đống nguyên liệu của tôi không có được, tôi sẽ phải chồng 2 cái lớp màu lên nhau để nó tạo hiệu ứng. Từ cái lớp trước, từ cái lớp bên dưới nó bổ sung cho lớp bên trên, từ cái lớp mờ nó bổ sung cho cái lớp nhẹ.
For this dedicated artist, each painting is a journey to find things of life hidden in fabric. In many of her destinations, the first thing she always cares about is finding a fabric market.
Hôm nay chị lấy cái gì? Đấy, trời ơi, chị đang làm cái bức tranh mà nó có cái không gian như là kiểu ở bờ biển ý, nó rộng hơn.
Được rồi, thế chị vào đây, Chị Thục thì chị tìm có những cái mặt hàng nó khác, những cái họa tiết của chị nó khác với cả những các cái khách mua đồ để may. Thì tôi cũng thấy rất là lạ.
From such unique fabrics, Thanh Thục has surprised the Vietnam art community. Her latest exhibition, held during the last days of May at the Vietnam Fine Art Museum, has fascinated many art lovers.
Cái dòng tranh vải nó cũng không phải là một cái gì đấy nó quá xa lạ, nhưng mà thường những cái bức tranh vải nó sẽ mang cái tính chất là mỹ nghệ nhiều hơn, nhưng mà những bức tranh vải của họa sĩ Thanh Thục ở đây ý, thì nó lại đậm cái tính nghệ thuật, tính mỹ thuật rất là cao. Đấy là một điều rất là khó đối với các họa sĩ.
Và đây nó là mở ra một cái chất liệu mới cho một cái con đường của nghệ thuật. Thì tôi thấy đây là một cái rất là thành công và cũng rất là tuyệt vời khi Thanh Thục chọn chất liệu vải để làm những tác phẩm nghệ thuật của mình.
Tất cả những cái hoa văn của vải và những cái họa tiết của vải nó đã đi cùng tôi theo rất nhiều những thăng trầm của cuộc sống. Nhưng đến bây giờ thì tôi cảm thấy là cái chất liệu vải ở trong mình nó vẫn còn có một cái sức sống rất là khỏe. Và tôi vẫn có một cái ham muốn là muốn đi đến tận cùng, xem cái chất liệu vải của tôi nó có thể nói được những cái ngôn ngữ nào ở trong hội họa.
You're tuning into Culture Mosaic, our weekly journal featuring the rich cultural diversity of Vietnam and vibrant international cultural events happening around the country. We do hope to become a bridge connecting the artists and their works with our viewers out there. So don't go away, we have a lot more in this week's instrument coming up for you in just a moment. You have just watched an excerpt of a contemporary project entitled Stormy Petrel. It honors revolutionary women from Ireland 800 years ago. One of the project's directors is Orla Ryan, an Irish artist with a special link with Vietnam. And last week, she introduced the project in Hanoi, but through a different art form, a photo exhibition with a sound installation. And our reporter of Lake caught up with her to find out more.
Thank you, Orla, for joining us on the mic today.
Thank you.
The exhibition was named after a bird, the Stormy Petrel. Why?
So when we were researching the women couriers, we realized one was called the Stormy Petrel of Liberty. And we were like, what's that? But why is it being used as a metaphor in this way? And when we researched, we found out that in the 19th century, that it was used as a metaphor a lot for people who were in the avant-garde and who had different ideas about how society should change. We found out that there was a poem written in 1901 by Maxim Gorky, which sort of talked about revolutionary ideas at that time. So we were interested in the cross-fertilization of ideas from lots of different places about change and how society should function.
I was strongly impressed by the video of the performance at the GPO yard. So why did you choose that place, and what was the most difficult thing to perform at such public place?
Well, the museum in Ireland for this GPO Witness History Museum is in the basement, but we were asked to make a project in the courtyard. We liked the idea of this space because it allowed us to make a big public sculpture based on a First World War acoustic radar. So we liked the idea of this listening to what's forgotten. And the challenge for us was creating a performance that would get some of these ideas about the women couriers in a poetic way, if you like, but would also allow the audience to feel some of that tension. So there was 12 women, all ages from 70 down to 18. And we performed it within the audience, but it worked really well for us because we felt that the audience got it. They understood the sort of tension and nervousness of the women who were afraid of being caught, but yet still wanted to do what they were involved with.
These key moments of the performance were captured in 30 photos that were exhibited last weekend in Hanoi. They reflect the artists' imaginations about the women couriers in the Easter Rising in 1916, from the image of them listening attentively to the acoustic radar to a nervous but determined woman who swallows the secret message. These were all inspired by true stories.
Some of these women I knew personally, so I had met when I was a child. Her name was Nora Thornton. She couldn't find the man, actually, first of all, but the man didn't listen to her, no. And she was the longest to get back. It took her 10 days.
Let me know he'd seen me.
Sound installation was another medium used by the Irish artists. It was a poetic combination of the woman couriers' narratives with the sound of a stormy petrel and a historic coded song.
I know where I'm going, and I know who's going. It was sung by James Connolly's daughter to let all the people in the audience at a concert and to let them know that the rebellion was happening the following day. Perhaps it seems like it's just a little love song. It has all these other coded messages about it.
All of these stories were combined harmoniously and touched the Vietnamese participants.
Các cái nội dung mà họ đưa ra thì thực ra đối với mình là rất quen thuộc, như là những cái giao liên, một cái vấn đề tưởng như là hơi chính trị một chút, nhưng họ lại đưa vào cái ngôn ngữ của nghệ thuật đương đại và để cho người ta nhìn rõ hơn những cái hoài bão, những cái nhiệt huyết của những cái phụ nữ đó và cái đóng góp của phụ nữ đó.
The reason we brought the exhibition to Vietnam was that we have a very much a shared history between Vietnam and Ireland. We were both ruled by colonial powers, we both had to struggle for our independence, and women played a very important role in both countries in achieving our nation's independence.
Stormy Petrel is part of Ireland's various activities to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the 1916 Easter Rising and the 20th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Vietnam and Ireland.
Why did you decide to bring this exhibition to Hanoi?
I have a strong relationship with Vietnam over the last couple of years, and I had visited this museum in 2009, and I thought that there was really good comparisons to make between the women in conflict on the second floor in this museum and some of the ideas that we were thinking about. There's really interesting things. There's 3 women in the museum and they all use their scarves to hide messages. And when we were researching our women couriers, they also used their clothing all the time. Either they stuck it in their hair, and in that time they used to have their hair all up in a bun, or in hats.
Orla Ryan is an artist, curator, writer, and lecturer. She went to art schools in London, Dublin, and New York. Her artworks have been exhibited internationally in Austria, the US, and UK. She has organized 3 exhibitions for Vietnamese artists in Ireland, including Dinh Q Le's New Film Commission,
a large group exhibition in 2015, and Chinh Minh Ha solo exhibition. I know you have a special connection with Vietnam. You adopted a Vietnamese girl and you helped many Vietnamese artists to have exhibitions in Ireland. So when did that connection start?
Yes, I have a Vietnamese daughter, so that's why we like to come over here a lot, so that she understands her Vietnamese roots, her culture. And since I was coming over here and I'm an artist and I'm involved in the arts, I got interested in looking at the contemporary art here and making connections with artists here. And there's such a vibrant community of artists in Hanoi and in the middle of the country and in Ho Chi Minh. Some of the artists are really successful internationally and some of the younger artists are still making a name for themselves, but I think they will because there's a really vibrant community of really interesting work here.
What is your next plan?
Well, we have this exhibition is going back to a museum in Ireland in October, and we're going to do a different component, so there'll be a moving image component. And then I'm researching another woman from a similar time in the 1920s who went to America, and she's an Irish woman, very strong Irish woman involved in feminism and pacifism, and I'm really interested in researching her.
Thank you for your time, Orla, and good luck with your future plan.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Veronique Mathieu, an avid contemporary music performer from Canada, has brought a unique sound to Hanoi for the first time. The combination between this acclaimed Canadian violinist and talented musicians from the Vietnam National Academy of Music has truly amazed Hanoi audiences and breathed new soul into classical music. We'll go show you more details in our Connecting Cultures segment this week.
Charming melody of Sonata of Vivaldi by Canadian violinist Veronique and Vietnamese pianist Phạm Quỳnh Trang captures Hanoi audiences' heart in Canada and Vietnam in Harmony concert. It's hard to believe that this is the first time these two artists have performed together.
Mình cũng rất là lo lắng vì là cái thời gian để được tập với nhau rất là ít, mà rất là may mắn là cả hai bên thì dường như là đã được tập trước đấy rất là nhiều lần rồi, và các cái sự ăn ý khi mà biểu diễn ấy, thì rất là hợp nhau.
It was great for me as a musician to be able to come to a new country and right away make music with people that I don't know, and then you get to know them in such a short time, but then yet you know them in a very special way because you get to play music together.
Performance of the three-time winner of the Canada Council Bank of Instruments competition with Vietnamese violinist Ngô Hoàng Linh is also a highlight of the concert. The two violinists from different countries and different generations, without practice, can bring this impressive performance to audiences.
Cô này là một người chơi violon rất tốt, xuất sắc. Chúng tôi chỉ là qua cái sự nghe cách cô trình diễn thôi, thì cô đã đạt được cái sự hoàn hảo rất cao và rất là chủ động. Cũng giống như một người nghệ sĩ mà đánh hầu như là không lỗi.
Well, Veronica is a young woman, very professional. She is not only an accomplished violinist, and she is a young artist, which signifies, I think, the potential for both Canada and Vietnam for our younger people, and I think it's very, very important for us to be able to showcase that talent.
Veronique not only impressed Vietnamese artists with her talent, but also changed the way Vietnamese audiences think about classical music, which is considered a form of music that's difficult to listen to.
hôm nay thì khi mà được nghe thì cũng thấy nó rất là khác so với những gì mình nghĩ trước đây. Có thể là trước đây mình nghe ca nhạc chủ yếu là nghe những cái ca nhạc hiện đại. Khi mà mình nghe nhạc giao hưởng thì mình thấy cũng hay hơn hẳn và cũng thấy tâm hồn thoải mái và sảng khoái hơn.
Like every day, what do you practice? Okay, Brook Concerto. From the beginning and
For her first time ever in Vietnam, Veronique not only played on stage with Vietnamese artists, but also got the opportunity to teach some Vietnamese music students. This 14-year-old boy Lê Quang Tiến has been learning the violin for 4 years. He really appreciated his chance to learn from Veronique.
Okay, that's fine. Right?
Dạy em về những thứ cơ bản về cách cầm đàn làm sao cho thoải mái, học về phong thái biểu diễn rất đơn giản nhưng mà lại giúp ích nhiều cho mình.
The students I work with here in Hanoi and also in Ho Chi Minh City are very talented. They worked very well. You can tell that they have excellent teachers here, and I've been very happy working with them.
Cô có một cái cách chia sẻ rất là nhanh gọn và rất là dễ hiểu. Tôi rất là hy vọng sẽ còn nhiều cái dịp nữa được làm việc cũng như là được từ phía Canada có thể giới thiệu những cái nghệ sĩ khác nữa sang biểu diễn cùng với những tác phẩm mới để cũng có sự chia sẻ. Và lần sau tôi nghĩ rằng sẽ có thêm một số nhiều tác phẩm Việt Nam, có thể là người Việt chơi tác phẩm Canada và ngược lại họ chơi tác phẩm của Việt Nam. Như vậy tôi nghĩ rằng sẽ có những cái giao lưu nó nhanh hơn.
Classical music in Vietnam, according to insiders, has yet to reach its full potential. Therefore, chances to cooperate with foreign talents like Veronique has brought precious experiences to Vietnamese artists, especially the young generation, who take the lead in developing the country's classical music.
And this week's Connecting Cultures has also wrapped up this edition of Culture Mosaic. Please write to us at culturemosaic@vtv.vn with any of your comments or suggestions for the show. You can also rewatch our programs online at vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4girl. Once again, thank you very much for being here with us. This is Daecha, and until next time.